Welcome back to the Nerdrotic channel. My name is Gary Beekler, and I come to you from nerdrotic.com, and I am live in San Francisco, California, and this is the Nerdrotic Nooner for Monday. Greetings, everybody. Happy Monday. Hope everybody is having or had a good weekend and is having a good day. I know some people get bummed out on Mondays. I dig Mondays. I dig the morning. I dig the start of a new day. Woke up all energized at 5:30 a.m. this morning. Had to get Nerdrotic Jr. off to school today. Had to help Mrs. Nerdrotic get her hair equipment ready for another big day of doing all the hair. Then I went to the gym, got back. You found a little late. Sorry. Yeah, when I have to drop Nerdrotic Jr. off at school, it makes me late. Later than, well, I'm always kind of late, but later than usual. So thanks for hanging in there, everybody. Chris Persia, Jim J, Cato Roan, Mary Ashmead and her wrench. Matthew Davies. Greetings, everybody. Thanks for jumping in here. We're going to let some people roll in before we get to, hours of prep I put into this. Okay. And the truth of the matter is it's whatever news I saw while I was at the gym on my phone. Plus, I think there's still plenty of Doctor Who stuff left over from the weekend to talk to. Yes, I've done a lot of videos on that, but I'd kind of want to hear what you guys think about what's going on. Doctor Who had a bad weekend. That was almost going to be the title of this. It just had a bad weekend. It had a boring episode. They canceled Christmas specials and they're changing the backstory. I had a bold prediction about that, which if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But listen, why would they bring in a female doctor and then come out and say, we're going to change the backstory? What do you think is going to happen? Let's put two and two together there. And with Common Core math, it'll come out as 5 because I don't understand Common Core math. I think it's my conspiracy theory on that is just a way to disconnect a parent from the kid, so it makes it impossible for us to help them, and then more reliance on the teachers. I don't know, and that's kind of a wacky theory, but yeah, I've got a few of those. It's not like I was great at math to begin with. Money, I'm decent at. I'm pretty good with the money part, but never going to be a scientist. That's for sure. That's for sure. Mage Grey Wolf, hello. How are you? Jimmy Olsen Blues, what's up? This is the first time I didn't finish a Doctor Who episode. This was awful writing, and this is not even going to be. OMG, Feisty fan. Hello. This is not going to be, and it never really has been a bash fest on Jodie Whittaker. She is not the worst thing in the show. No, not even close. They're treating her like they treated Capaldi. They screwed him over. And and it makes some people mad that I come out and call out Capaldi's. Listen, the Doctor Who declined in his era. The ratings declined. The data is there. He was a very popular doctor in the UK. I can't say he was super popular over here. And you know what? Doctor Who goes as the UK goes, and we understand that. I wish he would have gotten better stories. I personally liked him as a doctor. He grew on me pretty quick. Actually, it was like 3 or 4 episodes in, because at first I was against it. I was like, what? Some old dude, whatever. But within 3 or 4 episodes, I'm like, okay, I dig him. But the way Doctor Who has changed. I mean, when in 2005, the first words out of the Doctor's mouth are "run," and we established that we are getting action Doctor, running around Doctor, going to lift heavy equipment Doctor, and putting stuff together, and not getting in like fist fights or anything like that, but we're going to get a lot more action instead of I love classic Doctor Who. But one of the things they have is really long establishing scenes where cars are driving up driveways for like a full minute, or people walking up to a door and it's just taking forever. And there's always a bunch of sneaking around and stuff. And I love it, but it was just to kill time. It's like, we don't have the budget for everything. So let's just do a long establishing shot of the car driving up a driveway. And it's that's the way it was. And I loved it. But you don't need to do that now. And there's tons of running, and Russell T Davies Doctor Who, which I adore. There was just tons of running, and I loved it. I mean, Capaldi, yeah, they even showed it. They made, it came through, like when he ran, it hurt. It showed that like he was out of breath. Yeah, with Jodie Whittaker, she kind of runs funny. She does. Watch how she runs. She runs like I'm forgetting his name now. The guy who played the Flash in Justice League. That guy can't run either. And that's something you should have checked out before you play a superhero whose superpower is running. He runs with his legs kind of flapping out. It's really weird. Yeah. Sorry, I'm forgetting his name, but yeah, I do not like him as the Flash. And I'll wait for more people to run. Plus, I have so Charlie and Emergency Awesome did a video on Naomi Watts being cast in Game of Thrones, and I was trying to figure out who she was going to be. I'm like, well, man, she looks like a Lannister, but they can't really have a Lannister because their house wasn't established back in the Age of Heroes. Well, it was, but it was, kind of stolen by Lan the Clever, and now there's a rumor about that that's very interesting. So there looks like the show, and which the shows can do, they can change the lore that George R.R. Martin has established, but I'll also make the argument that that's why the Game of Thrones TV show was so popular, is it really did stick to the book for a lot of things. So not everything, but enough to make it, enough to where it was noticeable when they stopped. So we'll talk about that later too. And hope everything is good in your world, Feisty fan and Mary and everybody else. Ivan Capana, yes, no, the flapping legs run, no, yes, yeah, it's that's something you got to check out with your actors, is if we're going to do anything actiony, can they run? And running, not everybody runs pretty, and I mean, like, that's what you need to do when you're an actor. It's it's like in a race, in an actual race, it doesn't matter if you run pretty, it just matters if you win. But it matters when you are filming pretend stuff on screen. It's got to look the best it possibly can. $5 super chat already from Silhouetted Animator. Howdy, Gary. I'm trying to get back into art. What's your advice for getting work done even if you don't want to, via procrastinating? Whoa, that's a tough one, Silhouetted Animator. What I do, because that happens to everybody. It happens to me, happens to everybody. And I had a huge problem with that through all my young, even my young adult life. It's mind over matter. I know that's going to sound cliche and stupid as hell, but it's just a matter of like really just concentrating. I don't know if you meditate or anything like that, but focusing and concentrating. I write down checklists when I find my I get distracted easy, squirrel. And what helps me is I write like little checklists down with like what I'm going to do tomorrow. I don't overdo it. I used to totally overdo it. It's like 2 or 3 things. And if you're going to get back into art, I always start by just doodling. I don't like want to do a masterpiece when I sit down, especially when I haven't, illustrated something for 2 or 3 years. So my thing was, while I was at work, I was on hold a lot at Tesla. I was like on the phone, just like waiting for somebody, listening to some horrible hold music. So I started sketching like little monsters, excuse me, on sticky pads. And it turned into like I have a art book filled with my sticky pad monsters that I drew, which aren't anything wonderful, but it just got me. It was a practice to get me back into it. And then go someplace where you get inspired. Inspiration is the key. Like I was dead artistically until I went to Meow Wolf. Now, I'm not saying you can go off to Meow Wolf. Go to an art gallery. Go if comic books are your thing. Go watch your favorite animated silhouetted animator. Go, watch Young Justice or something like that. Something that inspires you and like kind of immerse yourself in it. I went to Meow Wolf and I walked out of there. I've never been a painter. I wanted to start painting. I started drawing again and it just kicked in. inspiration is, it's hard to find something. For me, usually it just happens naturally. Like something happens and I all of a sudden get like a good movie or a great comic book, but you can seek it out by just immersing, going back to back to basics, find your favorite thing and immerse yourself in it and take inspiration from that. Inspiration is tough. It's a hard thing. And it also goes into, oh man, it gets deep. Inspiration also comes from admiration. It's flipping jealousy around and turning it into admiration. That's, I used to be a bitter little cynical fuck, right? And it was through many gratitude lists and work in AA and NA that I've gotten to be less of one. I still am at times, of course, but instead of seeing somebody, if something, how the AA program works is you see somebody doing well and you're like, I want what they got, instead of going, fuck that dude, which is what I used to do. And if I saw somebody doing better than me, I get like competitive and I'd want to compete with them and beat them. And it's like, what the fuck is behind that? And it was I felt shitty about myself. So if I work on myself, and it's weird, is the perceived selfish act of working on yourself is not if you work on humility and stuff like that. So it gets, but long story short, admiration is a good thing. You just look at somebody you respect and just go, God, I want to do that. And and asking for help, like you just did. Asking for help is the key. But thank you for the $5 super chat. There we go. And get back to the chat here. You can do it. I see a Silver Spike. Like, what's most important thing you need? Like, that's the most important thing you need for Doctor Who. Oh, you mean running? No, it's not. But it was a nice addition, and it's what differentiated it from. That's what you're talking about, of Doctor Who. No, the most important thing you need for Doctor Who is good storytelling, Silver Spike. That is the most important thing you need. And that's what it clearly is not getting right now. And Chris Chibnall, we were all worried. I even saw like the biggest Doctor Who fans who were behind, Jodie Whittaker. They were like, but I don't know about Chris Chibnall. I don't know. And yeah, it's if you want to use the sports ball analogy, it's like having a shitty coach. Yeah, the greatest player in the world, but you got a shitty coach, man. It's not going to help. It's not going to help. So, and they're not going to be changing showrunners anytime soon. They had this plan that they're sticking with, and the BBC works differently than places over here. They stick with plans instead of, pulling the plug. But it's all, I imagine it's a lot like Star Trek Discovery. There's a lot of interest in the beginning, and then it waned. And as they should. I don't blame a company for going, everything's fine, we're awesome, everything's great back here, because honestly, it's none of anybody's business what's going on behind the scenes. But nowadays, in the age of social media, companies, you can have people sign all the F and NDAs you want. You are not going to keep everybody quiet, unless you can actually threaten them with jail time like the government does. You are not going to keep anybody quiet. And there's like all kinds of crazy news behind the scenes from Star Trek Discovery. Other YouTubers have reported that they couldn't sell the shorts, and it's obvious. I checked the other day, and the Metro did an article like, nope, you still can't see the shorts, and they you will never be able to see the shorts. They will not be part of the season 2 package over there in Europe for Netflix. And honestly, you're not missing anything. The next short is going to be about one guy in an empty Discovery ship, which was following the first short, which was 2 people in essentially an empty Discovery ship. We had some extra crew members in for a second, but that was it. Halam 899 Halam 899 live. Hey, it's the first time watching. Is the ostrich of the chat. I say that just in total jest, my friend. I'm just kidding. I'll never forget. I was at the wild animal park, and when I was a kid, and they were talking about ostriches and their attention span, and like every time they look away from you, and this is according to the guy at the time. You know, I was like, what, 6 or 7? He's all, every time they look away from you and look back at you, they see a new person. And man, that just made me laugh so fucking hard. The whole concept of it, I was giggly. The CD horse says, I can barely walk. I'm sorry. Oh man, I couldn't laugh. I was doing the Venture Brothers live stream with Viking Bitch yesterday, and I hurt my back a little bit. And every time I laughed, it hurt. And I was laughing the whole time. She's funny, man. So was Dennis. Go check it out. We're doing retro reviews of Venture Brothers, and that was requested by Viking Bitch and other patrons, and because we listen to our people. And the beauty of this channel, like, hey, I want this channel. I want every video to get a gazillion views, but and I'm kind of doing it kind of full time. I mean, full time is kind of relative. So I'm putting in like a good 5-6 hours a day on this channel, but I'm never ever going to do this full time. I've got the comic shop coming, and if I do other things, do work with my wife, and you know, I've got, you know, a house to keep up, an old fucking house that's, you know, it's old. I got a kid, so I mean, I dip in when I can. I do as much as I can, and thankfully, Mrs. Nerdrotic is like really behind this channel, but we can do fun stuff too, and it really doesn't matter how it turns out. It does what it does. It does. A lot of YouTubers thinks that hurts your algorithm. It actually does not. It does not. There's a lot of other things that can hurt your algorithm, but once in a while, putting up a fun video that doesn't get a gazillion views will not. Now, if you put like 10 of them in a row, that will. The ironic thing about yesterday's Doctor Who for me was the hospital ship command center made a better TARDIS than the TARDIS. Yes, yes. The set was awesome. That was a really cool looking set. I like the self-destruct bomb in the medical ship. That was my favorite part. Like, if it gets taken over, we're just gonna blow everybody up. Okay. That makes sense. But that's a way to introduce somewhat your arbitrary time clock that Chris Chibnall likes to put in, which was pointed out by another YouTuber. That was not me. But once certain things get pointed out, you can't unsee them. It was just, it's what we're going to get. We're halfway through the episode, ladies and gentlemen, and we have gotten no established bad guys that have any meaning whatsoever. The Doctor never feels threatened. Yes, they kill people, but it was like, you know, the guy they killed, you know, in the beginning part of the episode, you know, he's a nice guy for 5 minutes. And yeah, and you know, Doctor Who, and just killing people doesn't provide stakes. Killing characters, especially if they're just, you know, paper thin characters. Oh my God, with that general. You know, all they did was list some, you know, just random accomplishments. Like, I was the first to do this and the best to do this. And me and my brother kind of argue. I mean, if that's the biggest stakes we're going to get in a Doctor Who episode, you know, and people will come back at me with Doctor Who's not that deep. I beg to differ. I mean, you might not like Doctor Who, but Doctor Who can get very deep and fun. That's why I liked it. As far as changing the backstory, of course you can change the backstory with Doctor Who. It's not like Star Trek. You can go nuts with it. But if you change William Hartnell's, like, if you change it, like, he will not be the first Doctor. And my guess, it's going to be that the Doctor's had multiple regenerations, just doesn't remember them all or something like that. And yeah, if they make William Hartnell's Doctor just the first of a set of regenerations, that might make people's head explode. Not saying that's what they're going to do, but I mean, listen, it's on the table, folks. Believe me. It's what's going on with Star Trek, with Star Wars, with Marvel Comics, with even Ghostbusters, which doesn't have like years of lore behind it. They just feel like, it's gone on too long. Let's just reset everything. Which I think would almost be a better strategy. It's like, that universe existed. That's why I was okay with J.J. Abrams' 2009 Star Trek. I've said it before. It's like, let's just say, except for the whole blowing up fucking Vulcan thing. That was dumb. Well, no, Romulus. Sorry. But reset and doing another universe. It's like, yeah, like Marvel's Ultimate Universe, do that. Just do that. And then, the old guys and gals, it's not just guys, okay? It's not just guys. Can have their universe to go back to, and then we can, compare the universes and just go, well, ours was better. Maybe that's what they're afraid of. They don't want one to outshine the other. And that shows like zero confidence in your characters. Then don't bother. If what they had to do, Star Wars has been argued forever, but like that's textbook, like how to fuck up a franchise. There will be books written about that someday. James Hardy says Capaldi's first episode with the dinosaur was kind of all over the place, but it got better. I kind of liked Guitar Rock Doctor, guilty pleasure. However, I can't forgive Sonic Sunglasses. No, I can't either, man. Whoa, God, that really illustrated like where Moffat was as far as Doctor Who. He's like, this is a paycheck. No, Sonic Sunglasses, and then the Doctor rolling around in Davros's chair was like, I was like, fuck this. I was so excited they brought back Davros, and then that was just dumb. Aloha, the DJ D show. Exactly, says Mary Ashmead. How's it going? Everybody's greetings in here. Getting ready to good. Getting more to follow to Nerdrotic channel. Hey, thank you very much, the DJ D show. I got to respond to your message too. I will. See, that's a good one. Keep logs of what you do. And this is from JD Brisbois. Keep logs of what you do. And at the end of the day, if you haven't done much, it'll give you the drive to up your game the next day. But don't belittle like even small accomplishments. What you want to not do is be hard on yourself. You want to, it's a fine line, but that's good advice. It's like, yeah, keep track of what you do, but don't be too self-critical. It's like you did what you did, and there's no sense in beating yourself up from I coulda, shoulda done this, whatever. Just recognize that maybe you could have done more, but don't beat yourself up for it. Just go, okay, well, next time I won't. Just like the self-loathing thing. Oh man, it's you want to talk about epidemic here in a country of plenty. There is a lot of self-loathing, and then and that comes out in so many bad ways. It really does. Anger, resentment, jealousy, depression. It really digs into depression. It sucks. And that's not a judgment or anything. It sucks. I was born old, only getting older. You Benjamin Button. Sunglasses at night. Yes. Ian Batchelor says, all the BBC have to do is take one of the stories already written and add some Christmas trees and some snow, and you have a Christmas special, right? Oh my, that cannot that cannot be said enough. That they allowed a statement to go out that essentially said we ran out of ideas. Now, a lot of this was, taken from a Stephen Moffat quote at Comic-Con. But they're letting the press roll with that. They're not denying that. They're not coming out going, no, we haven't run out of ideas. No, that is what they are rolling with. That is BBC approved, that we have mined Christmas enough. We have run out of ideas. Oh my God. It's a joke. It's hilarious. And it should, this is something we should drive home every time we talk about Doctor Who now. And never let them forget and make them regret they ever said something like that. Because, oh my God, if I was a boss, and so, if somebody at my comic store said, yeah, I'm not interested in comics anymore. I just don't like comics. I'm selling them because but I'm not interested in comics anymore. That's essentially what you just said. Yeah, sorry. Hit the bricks at that point. I ran out of ideas. If you're a Doctor Who writer and you're really down with it, you're bursting with ideas. They're telling you, no more than yes. And, also to yesterday's episode, and we can all pretty much agree it was pretty much a throwaway episode. Whether you like Jodie or not, doesn't matter. It was a throwaway episode. You have 10 episodes. This isn't a 25 episode season where you probably need some filler. You do some background. You give some screen time to a sub character. We're halfway through the series. Yaz is just an extra at this point. We got to meet her family a little bit last episode, but she was just like reacting to things. Graham and Ryan. Christ, I feel like I know them better than the Doctor. They've put a lot of time on them, which isn't a bad thing, honestly. I mean, if I'm going to say there's one bright point about it, it's Graham. But yeah, throwaway episodes in a 10 episode season it's what we got with Stephen Moffat. This is no different than season 10. This is absolutely no different than season 10. Just getting a little better ratings. That's it. And it's because they changed everything. It wasn't really because the quality is better. But this is not improved quality over Moffat's later years at all, which leads me to believe that the BBC must be behind this. Like, there must be just tons of restrictions on the writing. The tide has turned against the new Doctor Who. I defended, but after Arachnids, I didn't even watch the last episode, says Mako. Yeah, and Mako. Listen, this is why we love Mako. Mako gives things a chance, all right? Like, legit chance. And if Mako has turned on it, I think that's a good measure of, I think, I noticed a lot of other people turning on it, but yeah, you can't defend bad writing, and it's, and then they're going to make you wait a year. After that, you're just going to be all whatever. A great example would be Daredevil. So Daredevil season 3, I got a video, and we talked about it Friday, and also got a video coming out talking about the 57% viewership drop from season 2 to season 3. Now, was it season 2's fault? No, season 2 of Daredevil, according to this company Jump Shot, is the most watched thing on Netflix since 2016, including Stranger Things. The reason it fell off more than half was the Defenders. And also Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones season 2. Those played into it. It brought down your audience because they were, kind of bored to death. The Defender, and that was, so with Defenders, Jessica Jones season 2, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. Like, Luke Cage was clearly the best out of those 4, but it wasn't great at all, and that killed your audience. And Daredevil had tons of goodwill. It's a surprise maybe it got that many people watching. It's my guess it's the next to get canceled. Plus some of the Kevin Feige news we have later will lead me to believe that. Yeah, I do tons of reading between the lines here, but let me tell you where I come from on that is, it's just been being really being way too into this stuff for way too long. And part of figuring this out, especially when I worked at the comic shop, when I read interviews with creators and stuff, I would, and listen to the companies talk about canceling a comic book or what they're going to do. A lot of this is similar, and you had to read between the lines to figure out, well, especially when I was ordering comic books and I had skin in the game, I had to read a lot between the lines with creators and stuff going, well, I know what direction this comic is going, or I understand the corporate speak here. So they're basically going to cancel this comic early. So with the Kevin Feige thing, he talked about the Marvel TV stuff that's going to be going to the MCU, but that's later. Sometimes watching things that make me bitter because of creative choices inspire me, e.g. Thanos snap Marvel shows, season 2 Luke Cage plus Iron Fist episodes. Want to know The secret to writing consistent A grade shows. Yes. Watch good stuff. In all fairness, so we aren't getting an Xmas special. We are getting a New Year's special. Yeah, I'm not talking about them moving the day. It's the fact that they're moving it. It's why they moved it. And it's bullshit, Nigel. They came out and said the writers ran out of ideas. That's bullshit. They moved it because Christmas is associated with Christianity. They don't want to be offensive in a uber PC culture. So they moved it to New Year's. That's the real reason. So, which I said multiple times in my video, Nigel, you know that. Yeah, I'm just calling them on their bullshit. There's still a special, but they moved it because Christmas. Doctor Who is an illegal alien. They should have an episode where she is arrested and deported. Well, you know what? They might, CD Horde. I think you just gave them an idea. That would be a good Christmas special right there. You know, they just have her deported on Christmas Day. The Kevin Feige news is good news. Sebastian Simonson. I'll give you a tease of it. He's going to be running the show over there at Marvel Streaming as far as the television stuff. It will not be Jeff Loeb. That is extremely good news. But it's bad news if you're a fan of any Marvel show that is not going to be on the streaming service because they're all going to be gone. I might come back if Chris Chibnall leaves, but I have so many other shows to watch and books to read and games to play than watch badly written TV. Agreed, Mako. The only reason I'm covering it, I'm like, this will be the only Doctor Who season so far that I will not be buying on Blu-ray. I will not be watching again. I even watched Capaldi season 10 again, and I liked it less the second time I saw it. I actually, again, this is nostalgia with me. This is where I'm guilty. I thought I liked a lot more of those episodes than I did. And I went back and rewatched them. Went, oh my Lord, that was bad. Didn't know anything about Jessica Jones. Loved it. A big Daredevil fan prior to Netflix. Very disappointed. Jessica Jones season 1 was great because it was based on great source material. A very good graphic novel run. I did not like season 2 at all. Daredevil season 1 and 2 were damn near perfect to me. I loved them. I loved every second of them. Daredevil season 3 was good. Don't get me wrong. It was good. But like nowhere near as good as like some people out there. Some people were the entertainment rags in the shills saying it was the best season ever. It's like, what? No, not even close. You know, Daredevil was always pretty grounded. I mean, not uber grounded, but pretty grounded. And the prison fight, like in season 3, well, it was brilliant. You have to wait for December 7th on that. There's no way in the fucking hell that would happen. Iron Fist was cheesy, cringeworthy, and borderline ridiculous. But for some reason, I keep going back to it and enjoy it for some reason. LOL. Yeah, I didn't hate season 1 as much as everybody else did. I saw it for what it was, like a build up to another character, and I thought they were gonna basically have him be full-fledged Iron Man in Defenders, or Iron Fist in Defenders, and I was like, okay, well, that's fine. But season 2 was a kick in the balls, man. It was God, we should almost do an entire live stream on in name only. Like stuff is coming out like Penny Dreadful, fucking there's a comic, Turok, Weaponized Nerd Rage just did a video. There's a comic called Turok. It's Dinosaur Hunter, and it's like a Native American. They race swapped him to a black guy and had him fighting Nazi dinosaurs because Turok fights dinosaurs. He's a dinosaur hunter, and it's in name. They just keep on doing this in name only. Star Wars is essentially, now that the original, now Luke and Leia and Han are gone, is Star Wars in name only. They're just slapping labels on something, Star Trek Discovery, and expecting us to roll in. And guess what? A lot of us are. So that's why we're getting so much of it. And, I forget Alex Kurtzman, who's running Star Trek Discovery right now, like destroyed 2 franchises. Forget the Star Trek stuff he was involved with. He was the head of the dark universe that was a cinematic universe for the Universal Monsters that lasted 1 entire fucking movie. And then he was on Amazing Spider-Man, that garbage heap. That they got rid of Raimi for that garbage. Yeah, we're also finding out Aviara. It's crazy, but reindeer are shape-shifting aliens on the run from another planet, and Krampus is an alien bounty hunter. Boom, a Christmas episode. Maybe not good, but it's a story. That sounds fucking awesome. KS. I'd watch the shit out of that. Yeah, the Doctor versus Krampus. Yeah, Dennis brought that up. Absolutely. Watched it and is far from a Doctor Who fan. Oh, Nigel, yeah. But you watched it. You gave it a try. Dr. Woke is the worst thing than Dr. Woke is worse than get a bad role in D20. Sebastian Simon said, some of the abbreviations you guys got to, like DD is Daredevil. What's D20? Sorry, I'm kind of old with that shit. It's my fault. I'm going to get back to some of your chat. I'm sorry if I missed some of it. I'm going to roll back up. Imagine they did a Doctor Who episode inspired by the 9 cries of hell in Dante's Inferno. It'd be a great chance to have an episode with different monsters. Yes. Oh my God. I freaking love the Tenet scene where he's basically talking to Satan. He's all wrapped up there, and that was brilliant. That was so brilliant. It's worse than season 10, says Mako. Yeah, it kind of is. Well, the next Silver Spike says, well, the next few episodes are going to be written by guest writers, so we'll see if things improve. And they could, Silver Spike, because with Titans, Akiva Goldsman, like the last 2 episodes, what's up, Sculpted Leather Art by Viking Bitch? Hi. Titans, the last 2 episodes have been written primarily by Jeff Johns, Silver Spike. I don't know if you're watching the show or not, but it noticeable improvement, like night and day. There's still annoying characters in it, like Starfire is completely annoying. But I was even okay with Rachel in that episode. The Doom Patrol was awesome. That was great. I had a lot of fun with that. Doctor Who is a BBC IP owned or a BBS, British Broadcasting Service, says Zugi 01, owned by BBC in a country that has gone woke horribly. Doctor Who is as dead as any normal person's chance of going to the UK now and enjoying their visit. Yeah, I'm wondering if it's going to look. I haven't been there in 8 years, so it's probably going to be different, huh? It's different here in San Francisco. If you came here 8 years ago, it is not even the same city. There's buildings here now. We used to have buildings, but like not super big buildings because the ground tends to shake, and downtown is built on landfill, basically. So it's not really a fucking good idea to build buildings. But then all the tech heads came in here and started building buildings, and like one of them is sagging like 2 feet to the left, I believe, or to the west. It's the Millennial Tower. We call it the Leaning Tower of Millennial. The Millennium Tower, not the Millennial Tower, but I call it the Millennial Tower. And then we have another Salesforce building that's giant. And that's what happened when I was in London. All those buildings you guys got were being built. I remember seeing them going up. If Rigel can love himself and be my favorite character, you can love yourself too, says Mako. Absolutely. If a little flying space, arrogant space toad can, love himself, anybody can. Moffat Capaldi got fired because they got in a fist fight in the commissary over a Sonic device. uh, I think you got your shows mixed up there, Philip. That's funny. And then they're going to get hired by Amazon Prime. When I was in college, people assumed I was a professor. Thing was, I could answer most of their questions. Yeah, I would have rolled with that CD horde. That's nothing. That's nothing bad. This is why I started growing the beard. I started growing my beard a lot 7 years ago, 6 or 7 years ago, just because, yeah, I kind of have a baby face. Well, I had one. I mean, that was 8 years ago. I've gotten a little older since then. Dude, we got a $20 Tamarox. Hail Tamarox. Rest in peace, Legion, after season 3. I know. At least they're going out like how they want to go out. That will be some of the honestly, if they go out on a good note, for me personally, that's going to be one of my top 3 shows of all time. I love that fucking show. No, it is not for everybody. And it is not a superhero show. It's a show, but they go superhero and they go full comic book, but it's something special. It's really something special. And I can't say it enough. There are so many better shows to fucking see out there. That's why, like, really fuck Star Trek Discovery, fuck Doctor Who, fuck Star Wars. Go to The Expanse, go to Legion, go to Counterpart, watch Castlevania. We need to really support what's good and original. And yeah. And it sucks that we're getting 3 seasons of Legion. Like Penny Dreadful was a good show. I like that show too. It went out on 3 seasons, probably better that it did. It wasn't perfect, but they really tried. They tried to do something original. I didn't love all of it. Like I said, it went a little too weird sometimes, and maybe edit down some of that dialogue. But there was some brilliant stuff in it too, just utterly brilliant stuff. So thank you so much for the generous super chat there. Yeah, we love Legion, man. We love it's not a show we're going to talk bad about here. So shows that have the Nerdrotic seal of approval, not that means anything to everybody. That just means that Dennis and I both completely agree on it, because we don't completely agree on a whole lot in this world. But but that's why he's here. Excuse me. That is specifically why plus we get along. I know it doesn't show all the time, but we actually do. We talk to each other like every day. Yeah, it's cool. So the shows with the seal of approval are, the newest one is Castlevania. It's got a seal of approval. Venture Brothers, The Expanse, Legion. I know I'm going to forget. I'm doing this off the top of my head. Legion, The Expanse, Counterpart, Mr. Robot. What else? I know I'm missing one. You guys will help me remember it. I can't go to the my own channel right now, but you know what I'm talking. What's up, Man of Action? How's it going? I saw you in there. I saw you. I saw you in a couple live streams before, and I didn't read your chat. I'm sorry about that, and I'm sorry if I don't get to everybody's chat. Just go ahead and repeat it. It's cool. I definitely try. It's just trying to like get through the crosstalk and stuff. But it's not like I'm not grateful for your chat and you guys trying to talk about this, because you are the co-host. So if I miss something, you feel like it's important, just make sure to do at Nerdrotic channel, and that catches my eye. You saw the video from YouTube stating live streams do not hurt. Just bad content hurts. Quality, consistent content is good. DJ D Show, absolutely. Our channel is kind of proof of that. Now, we're not as big as others, and it's probably because we do everything live. But our biggest video was a live stream. We have 61,000 views on it, and it was when The Expanse got canceled. And it's just about the content, and I made it short enough. I mean, length does matter, okay, in a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? But $10 super chat from the Silhouetted Animator. End Legion Season 3 with resetting the X-Men timeline into the MCU via David time traveling to the 30s when Xavier is a kid, and have him convinced his dad to keep mutants a secret. If they can make that work, that would be awesome. If you, oh my God, it would be the greatest show of all time. It would be like Prisoner. You could put it up with The Prisoner if it helped bring in the X-Men to the MCU, and then you made it a cohesive story and a nice little, put a little bow on it at the end. Oh my God, I would just die of a geek out. That'd be great. I like that idea. See, that's a great idea. But yes, you're right, DJ D Show. Live streams do not hurt your channel. Now, how you do the live streams does matter. Absolutely does matter. But I'm kind of, I should really kind of keep some of the YouTube secrets to myself. But because I paid to go to VidCon. And apparently I got more. You know what I got out of it is talking to other YouTubers there. None of the seminars were nothing, but I went and sought out a couple of YouTubers and asked them a couple questions, and that was me asking. Like, I got really inspired by some of the YouTubers there. I mean, some people can go and look at a YouTube channel and go, "How the fuck does that motherfucker have 1 million subscribers?" And I have done that too. But then you got to flip it around. You go, how does that guy have 1 million subscribers? I want to know. I want to know how he did it. That's awesome. And yeah, just that's how you flip it around, man. And ask a lot of questions. Yeah, it's just, yeah, it's a crappy way to go through life. And I only say that because I used to do that. It'd just be cynical and it's miserable. I mean, I love having this channel, but I also love that it's not the only thing in my life. Getting going over some more chat there. And Persian Scribe, hello, Persian Scribe, how are you? Long time no see. Good to see you back. Good to see you back. Doctor Who Ramadan special. Why not? You know what? You don't. Yeah, just because. Hey, have a Hanukkah special. Do it. Why not do a Hanukkah special then instead of a Christmas special? If you want to change it, yes. See, it's just. That's why people are coming to YouTube. I say it over and over again. It's you guys are seeing through the bullshit that I'll say print media, but it's actually just digital media now. They've just become an arm for the companies. They're trying to silence some of us by not me in particular, but some other YouTubers, keeping them out of groups and shit like that, just because they embarrass them. They're gonna have to learn to work with us someday. And you know what? Maybe it's time companies and politicians and people start showing warts and all and show that you're fallible and stop keeping up this whole bullshit facade. I know that's really against company policy for a brand and everything. You never want to show any flaws, but that's in today that's gonna be real tough. It's gonna be real tough. Either that or their current policy is just to ghost everything. It's like nothing's wrong. We're not going to address it. So you have seen the BBC officially confirm the gap year then? Silver Spike, no, but I have not seen them say no. And the news had got out pretty hard. And if it was not going to happen, they would have come out and said, there's no gap year. You guys are full of it. What are you talking about? There's going to be a gap year. And I've seen that reported in multiple places, but yes, Silver Spike, I do take especially everything from like the Metro with a huge grain of salt. But that's the word on the street. It's due to a production delay that was not with it. It was out of everybody's control. I don't know what, like an actor or something. I don't know the specifics of it, Silver Spike. But that's the word going around from multiple print and digital outlets, that's my window to the world. So I'm not reporting it as a fact, but it looks like we'll say 80% probably going to happen. I love Elektra and season one Kingpin. I felt season three Bullseye was silly. A former soldier in FBI, but never discovered his world class aim. Uh, yeah, that whole origin played out as a big tease. Um, I like the guy who played him, but I also, I loved Vincent D'Onofrio's performance. I thought it was brilliant, but we have yet again the only full fledged like character, like fully developed, like they are in the comics, was Daredevil, and then they took it back. Kingpin was never fully in control. He was running stuff from prison, but he always had something hanging over his head. Yeah, he Vincent D'Onofrio was the best Marvel villain, and he still wasn't like he didn't have the gloves off on that one. I want to see more of him. I want to see him in the MCU. I want to see him interacting with Spider-Man and fucking more Daredevil. I want more Vincent D'Onofrio, please. Please. I'm asking nicely. I have not seen anybody say anything bad about that guy's performance. He is such a great actor, man. That's why I couldn't believe when I saw him on like one of the CSIs or something like that. I'm like, dude, he is like fucking Marlon Brando. He is like a kind of an acting god. Like, what the hell is he doing there? But apparently he made that show pretty good. So uh jumping down chat. Yeah, Man of Action. I hate to say it, but I think Moffat is taking the piss with the audience. There is no way. There is no way that they ran out of ideas. No, it was that was company line. That was towing a company line. That was taking one for the team. I'm sure he had to say that through gritted teeth. Um, but Doctor Sleep greater than Doctor Woke. Yes, silhouetted animator. Stay sleepy, my friends. Stay sleepy. Doctor Deported. James Hardy, I agree. Netflix hurt Daredevil by announcing Marvel cancellations as it was being released. What the hell was that? I think it was really disheartening to the fans who thought Marvel series were going to be around forever. Yeah, that was terrible to do. And it was exactly what it looks like. It was a middle finger to Marvel. It was a fuck you to Marvel and Disney. The Lego Ghost, I like that name, says, I wish BBC would get out of American politics. Yes, and stay out. I mean, like on your news, not talking about your news. I'm talking about in your art. It's just like, you know, if you want to do kind of a fun, broad thing, stay out of any serious politics. I mean, just don't even freaking go. And I think they're kind of going their next episode too. Now, that's not something I know a ton about. A little bit, but we'll see. Stick to Vincent Van Gogh, and yeah, you know what? Have the doctor visit a bunch of great artists. Why not? That'd be fun. CD Hordes is suing BBC for copyright infringement. Um, I got to do my homework on. I mean, I know a bit about the BBC. I don't know how exactly that corporation works. If it's completely autonomous, or yeah, I was told it was, so I'll believe you guys. Yeah, not that it's that important in my life. I'm having to study and the background a lot more stuff that I actually give a shit for this show. So, uh, where did I saw something? Yes, your story is better than anything. Persian scribe. Okay, I may or may not have read some Doctor Who fanfic. All right, and while it being god awful, some had good concepts, and Yeah, for like a month back in 2014, I went through I'm going to check out fanfic for some reason. Um, and it was a very dark period of my life. Not proud of it. Last night's Doctor Who reminded me of the episode 42, says William Winters. Exactly. And written by Chibnall with an arbitrary time clock that had just a creature that it was misunderstood. Um, oh, by the way, that they let go. That had the general had mentioned that the Pating had killed thousands of her people, and they just let it go because all it really wants is energy, and it wanted a full tummy. There you go. To go kill 1,000 more people. Like the doctor could have figured out a way to put it maybe on that junk planet that they started out at and just go here, feast and leave everybody alone. But nope, they just let it go. I thought I had so predicted the ending too. I'm like, oh, she's going to put him on the junk planet that they were just at. Um, only really like the music, opening theme, closing theme, some of the special themes, all good during Murray Gold's reign of notes. The non-music parts in the middle, boring filler. Nigel's funny. Nigel is a wonderful contrarian, and I like that. I do. I miss Murray Gold. I have all his soundtracks. I think he's great. Music really does make your show. Murray Gold is should be going do movies. I know some people think he's bombastic. I love that shit. Love it. The hunky, chunky, funky monkey. I'm stopping at McCoy on DVD. I did like Eccleston and Tennant, but not as much. Lost interest during Smith's run. And you know what? A lot of people have said that. A lot of older Doctor Who fans that I have met have said that. I can't say that's you know an educated study or anything like that. But yes, McCoy was way better than I remember him being. I had only seen a couple episodes, and I at the time when I was watching it on PBS and really high on drugs, I was like, fuck this dude. But went back and watched it, and it was so much better. I appreciate it more. We can always agree to disagree, CD Horde. I'm not sure what, but yeah, we can. We're cool. We're always cool. It's all good. Jessica Jones season 1. I only like Jessica Jones season 1. Tennant was awesome. Yes, he was. Brian Jacob, I'm a pregnant man. Hi, everyone. By the way, yeah, I forgot to change my I got to change the thumbnail, guys, for the Doctor Who recap. I'm going to change it to this. Um hang on, let me pop it up here. Cuz this is a better thumbnail for that episode, right? Wouldn't you agree? I'd say that's a better it's a more accurate thumbnail. Um yes. And that's again, that scene by itself kind of funny, all right, like a little funny, but mixed in with this show in context of everything they're doing, um they would have, yeah, and I said it in my videos, if you didn't want to alienate half your fans, just put in a female doctor and let her be a doctor. Go do doctor stuff. Don't mention real world politics. Don't, yeah, but they did. They've been doing something every time, and they've been focusing so much on that they forgot to actually write stories with bad guys and adventures and stuff. Um, yeah, this is made for people with 5-minute attention spans who can see that way. You don't put too much in the episode, then people can go out and talk about it on Twitter, who haven't seen anything, who haven't or seen the whole episode, and still talk about it and sound like they know something about it. Yes, they made Turok black from Native American Sugio one. They did. Um, okay, yeah, they did. James Hardy said Legion is too smart of a show to be mainstream. Sadly, yeah, that's why it lives on FX. Um, I am gonna say though that I think I mean, like a great example is you put Legion up to Manifest and just how they're written, and they're written by competent people, but they're written. One is written down, and one is written like, "Hey, we're gonna just treat you like an intelligent adult and figure out the story, and we'll entertain you." And then Manifest is like, here's paint by numbers. Um, so yeah, James, you're right. Okay, I'm almost caught up here, guys. Oh, maybe I'm not. Shit. Sorry. I'm gonna get to y'all, man. We got to be here all fucking day. Let's do it. Well, I mean, not. I've got hours. I got to pick up Junior later. I got a Doctor Who episode idea to improve their out of ideas bullshit. How about doing an episode that's about the Doctor unintendedly getting an innocent man implicated for a crime he didn't commit? Sounds great, Ray. And you know what? Do it on Christmas Day. Boom, Christmas special. And you have to get him home. Like, you get this innocent man out in time so he can spend his Christmas Day with his family. And then you know what? Flip the script. They fail. The Doctor fails and gets him there on Boxing Day. A day we do not celebrate enough here in the United States, by the way. So Melissa and I actually officially recognize Boxing Day as a holiday. We close the salon. We don't go to work that day. I used to take the day off. Yes, Boxing Day. More days off. We work too fucking hard over here, man. What is our average vacation for an employee? Is like a week. It's awful. Life is too short to do crap like that, people. I mean, you got to work. It's good to pay the bills. It's good to have a job. It's very good for, your life and focus and everything like that. And don't ever want to take it for granted. But man, you need to have some fun once in a while too. Uh, yeah. Movie and shows are often a product of the times. They are. They absolutely are. I think Doctor Who should have stuck with the search for the TARDIS through the entire season. The group would have hitched rides wherever they attempted the stories could follow that search, said Harley's little sister. That is a better idea than what we've been getting. Honestly, got to agree with that. Next episode is Indian Partition of 1947. That's going to be fun, right? Rosa Park arc, I hope. Yeah, that should be great. So next season we're going to go to Auschwitz. Maybe, the Doctor will go to Auschwitz and yeah. No, just no. Doctor Who gives a shizzle. They ran out of care. They ran out of care as the money rolled in. The problem with long running shows is they become a parody of themselves and lose talent along the way. Well said, Person Scribe. You're absolutely right. But Doctor Who has always prided itself on, hey, we change every 3 or 4 years. It's not supposed to be a long running show. This is a brand new creative team. It's a brand new Doctor. But it's a long running show to the BBC. And I'm sure the BBC is like really up in, all the show's business. There are some networks and production companies who actually let their creative people do their creative thing, believe it or not. And that's Anonymous Content. Anonymous Content is a production company that doesn't fuck with anything. All right. They've done Homecoming. They've done Counterpart. They've done Mr. Robot. All quality shit that they let their people do. Homecoming is something we're going to talk about. I don't know how many of you out there have seen it. It's trippy. It's pretty good, though. It's pretty good. I didn't know at first, but once it got going, I was like, I kind of like it. Erotic fanfic. Oh yeah, like I said, it was a dark month, Mako. Don't want to talk about it. Shh. Last episode was actually kind of good prior to editing, but overall better step up, said Harley Little Sister. It wasn't as dark. I don't know. It was just throwaway to me. It was just nothing. Was it better than Arachnids in the UK? Yes. I will say yes. Some people were uh yeah, some people were saying it was worse than Arachnids in the UK. No, they're both pretty bad. They had two stinkers in a row. Tommelfinger says stopped watching The Expanse when it got canceled. Then Nerdrotic started chiming in. When it got picked up again, I finished what was made and then read the books. That's awesome. That's awesome. And The Expanse. Whew, I'm so glad it didn't end on that last episode from season 3. That would have been a pisser. Uh yes, and again, my speculation on why the Christmas episode was canceled, I feel very good about it. I feel confident enough to make a video and back that shit up all day long. Do I have any facts? No, but I have a pair of eyes, 4 eyes, you can probably say 4 eyes, and a brain. And it's pretty easy to figure out. Yeah, and believe me, I'm surprised more YouTubers aren't all over the. They try to steer. I think they steer clear of Doctor Who. Maybe none of my friends, but I mean other ones out there that I've watched. They've really tried to steer clear out. Maybe they're afraid of something. I don't know. I don't know. Uh, they but like I said in my video, you don't see the BBC going dark that day. They're gonna have Christmas shows, right? So they didn't cancel all the Christmas shows, but why Doctor Who? Why Doctor Who? Well, it's one of their bigger properties. Um, Daredevil is so good, it would almost ruin a big screen movie for me unless they use the Netflix characters secondarily. It needs to be rated R and at least PG-13 needs to be rated R, James. It needs to be rated R. And Dennis had a pretty decent little rant about that on our Friday night thing. It's like, if you want to see a flaw in the MCU, it is they're not doing rated R stuff. That's where DC can get them. If they do a rated R, they're doing Gotham City Sirens, that's rated R. If they go rated R with Suicide Squad 2, they're going to start kicking Disney. Disney goes all bland and homogenized, they're done. And you don't have to go rated R with every movie, but if you mix it in, you make it part of your universe, and then you do like a really hard PG-13 Batman or something like that, which would be better on television, by the way, in my opinion. Is the season of Doctor Who saying that human life is not as precious as other forms of life? That seems to be the theme to me. Spiders, patings, Overstate is welcome, in my opinion. Stephen Moffat or who are you talking about there, Silver Spike? Sorry, I'm catching up on chat here. Pregnant Man, Arnold did that in the 90s. Yes, he did. And that did really well, by the way. That movie, I remember it being a gigantic hit. No, it wasn't. Yes, yeah, and you guys like my thumbnail there? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna use. I credit Jar Jar with the best Bones line ever, says Zugi01. Kirk, why do they call you Bones? Wife took the whole world into divorce. All I have left is my bones. Yeah, that was good. That was a good line. I liked it. You are a contrarian, Nigel. It's a term of endearment, my friend. Dennis is a contrarian too. Dennis starts sentences with no. Go back and watch the podcast. About the quality of Jessica Jones versus Daredevil on Netflix, Gary, Kilgrave was the best villain ever seen. Yes. We've just gotten more Vincent D'Onofrio, I think. But I can't argue with you there. He was fucking Tenet was awesome, man. Carl Urban is the shit. Met him in Seattle. Says one Mordecai one. I love Carl Urban. Love him to death. He's going to be in The Boys, which is my friend's comic that's being turned into a TV show. I'm really fucking excited about it. Can't wait. It's going to be early 2019. Yeah. New Who is so unsubtle with a lot of its themes and messages. Remember Christ Doctor in The Last of the Time Lords? Christ Doctor. Christ Doctor. I liked RTD stuff though, but yeah, there's some crazy stuff too. Ahoy, Nerdrotic peoples! Happy New Year, says Saquist. How's it going? How's it going? We've been going for a little over an hour here. We got time, folks. I'm working my way through the chat. Yeah, it messed me up. Sleep to even through the hour. Oh, you slept through the time change, Mac. I've done that before. I watched The Haunting of Hill House. You're right. Started out strong, directionless in the middle. Towards the end, repeating constant mix of how the show picks up, but not really. Says Malwinius Serrano. And a great potential. I can walk away saying I liked it. I was entertained by watching it. But if they would have really gone twisty and dark with the ending, I'd have liked it a lot more. Just if they'd have changed that last last minute and just left it open to like what, I don't want to ruin anything, but if they left it, if they didn't completely answer the question, Malwinius, if you know what I'm talking about, that would have been better, in my opinion. IMO. Man of Action. Yeah, there are more. Is there any more word on that Dread show? Something that Carl Urban has agreed to be a part of it. I don't. I think Dread is firmly in the cult status. There's not enough people to bring. Its milkshake does not bring enough boys to the yard or girls. Sorry to say. Urban is a god amongst men and a fantastic Bones. Absolutely fantastic Bones. He's great in everything. Lord of the Rings, he was fucking awesome. I say to this day, he could have made a great Thor, but Chris Hemsworth, of course, is a great Thor. He does. Okay, I have to return to the corporate matrix. We'll keep a lookout for the White Rabbit before Agent Smith asked me, my boss, where the TPS reports are. Have fun, everyone. Live long, Nerdrotic channel. Persian scribe, live long and prosper yourself, my friend. Thanks for coming in. See you soon. See you again. Go appease those corporate gods and fight the system. Well, I get asked. Chris Persia asked, Gary, will you cameo as your character in The Boys? I am available. I will do it for I'll do it for scale. I'll actually do it for scale. Yeah. So I have a very small character in The Boys comic book run. My friend Derek was nice enough to draw me in there in a little warehouse scene, and I have some lines and stuff. And it's me without a beard, though, so I don't know if you're going to recognize me. I have the original art. It's right. You guys want to see it? Hang on. What the hell? All right. That's my hat. So there. You guys can see it. It's right there. Oh, my God. So if I go left or right there. That's also original Klaus Janson bullseye up there, too. So, yeah. So I was in a comic. It was cool. That was awesome. So, it's something I can show off to my kids. Like, haha, your dad was drawn in a comic. I would love to, Chris. What I really would like is for Derek, the guy who drew that, who co-created The Boys, to get on this show. He has agreed to do it, but his time is crazy. You guys would love him. One of the great talkers in the world. He could have a great YouTube channel. He would have a great YouTube channel. He tells the best stories. And he has the best ideas for shit. I don't know why he doesn't write more comics. He has got he wrote a great Conan comic. If you guys seek it out, Derek Robertson's Conan comic. It's a one shot. It's fucking brilliant. But if you Derek also co-created the show Happy, that's on Sci-Fi. He co-created that comic book. Transmetropolitan, you might have heard that. He drew for that. He's also done Wolverine. Did a great Wolverine run with Greg Rucka. Bones was named Bones because doctors used to cut people's hands and legs, so their nickname would be Bones in the military. And JJ's is because his wife took everything and left him with only his bones. Well, dear me, are those things coming out of your nose? What's coming out of? Is something coming out of my nose? Campfire, I just happened to be in the room when my wife was watching Ugh. Really? Was she watching me? Comics Division? No, I'm just kidding. What's up, dude? Mega City 1 is supposed to be the name of it. Yeah, I'm there. If they show it, I'm fucking there. I goddamn love that movie. That was the first 4K Blu-ray I bought was Dread. Because I wanted to see the freaking knees get blown out in like perfect 4K. Game of Thrones lore. Game of Thrones lore is what I love about Game of Thrones, Rough Girl. It's going to be like, like in the midst of an addiction, like turning down like a big old fucking baggie of meth by not buying the Blood and Fire book that's coming out in 20 days. I don't know if I'll be able, I got to hold to my ideals on that because I'm not going to buy anything until it comes out with Winds of Winter. But man, when World of Ice and Fire came out, I'm still rereading that to this day. I love the lore of Game of Thrones. I love world building. So I guess we could talk about it now. So the rumor is that Naomi Watts' character is going to be Lan the Clever. So they're going to sex swap Lan the Clever. Now he is just even within the lore of Game of Thrones, we don't know if he actually existed. Okay, they even mentioned that many times. But Lan the Clever. The thing is, the way the universe is established, it's feudalism. It's it's lordships. You can't establish a house name with a woman. But they're going to do that with Lan the Clever and Lannister. Now, sorry, spoilers. Lan the Clever, House Lannister, they kind of stole their lordship. There's a lot of they did a lot of shady things. Lan the Clever was called Lan the Clever because he tricked somebody out of basically their keep, their castle, everything. And the rumor is that it's going to be Naomi Watts' character, and she's going to be basically the first Lannister. I don't know if that's a fact. I said that's just a rumor right now. But what was the first thing I thought when I saw her was like, they're probably going to cast her as a Lannister, but they could cast her as a Stark. They could dye her hair black and cast her as a Stark, or keep her blonde and cast her as a Stark, or she can be, something else. I don't think there will be Targaryen. There won't be Targaryens in this show. There will not be Targaryens. There might be Valerians, but no Targaryens. And you got to read that Fire and Blood book, or you can read the World of Ice and Fire book. About like where the Targaryens come from, because when Valyria was at its peak, the Targaryens were a bunch of nobodies. So there we go. I'm proud to announce a Netflix short with Alex Garland as the showrunner. Mega City 1 coming soon. Just kidding. That would be great though. Rashid, that would be awesome. Don't fuck with me, man. No, that would be great. That would be great. I would do a 90-minute stream on how much I love that fucking movie. Carl Urban is the only guy in the JJ verse who actually really captured the heart of the original actor's portrayal. Agreed. Absolutely agreed on that. No, he was great. He's still the only one going, hey guys, are we going to do Star Trek 4? He seems like he's the only one who's really into it. Although the Mary Sue came out with a great article that Megan Fox is going to save Star Trek, which was the funniest thing I've ever read. Go check it out. Megan Fox will save us all. It might go that way, man of action, because as soon as you hear like, "Hey, we're gonna go into the backstory and things might turn out the way you think," well, I don't really. I mean, what do you mean the way I think? Like all the George R. R. Martin books I read. It's not like I made up lore. It's the lore that George R. R. Martin made up. I mean, you're going to change what he thinks, what he thought. Um, yeah, I love that writers who run out of ideas want to go back and change lore. That was part of the Doctor Who thing. I did a video on that too. It's like you guys just admitted you ran out of ideas, but you're going to go back and change the lore of Doctor Who. You're going to go back and change the Time Lord backstory, but you just said you ran out of ideas. So people who've run out of ideas are going to go fuck up better writers' ideas, and that's what's going on right now. You need to read that article, Comics Division. Megan Fox is going to save Star Trek. And it was just in the opinion of the writer, but it was funny. And it was like you could just hear the voice like, oh my God, Megan Fox. I love Megan Fox. Nothing against Megan Fox personally. All right. Who will Megan Fox play? The erotic holodeck fantasy? I don't know. Yeah, again, nothing against her personally. It's just this person's article was funny. It was funny. It's like I would have never put those two things together. But hey, what the fuck do I know? You guys want to read it? I mean, it's a fanboy article written at the Mary Sue. I try to stay away from the Mary Sue because I mean, Mary Sue it should be just called lowhangingfruit.com. It gives it gives a lot of YouTubers who are on who are commentators a lot of fodder. Oh, and there's also another article. So when are we all going to apologize to Megan Fox? What do I need to apologize to Megan Fox for? Did I wrong her? Megan Fox calls Hollywood more. Okay, so they just like Megan Fox. You know what? Michael Bay like really me too'd the shit out of her if the stories are true. I don't know how he got away with it. Maybe they weren't true. Things we saw today. Star Trek hints at Megan Fox joining the franchise, and we're hyped. Here, let me share this with you. It's funny. It's just funny. Okay. And I listen, Kate Gardner, don't mean to pick on you. You can be hyped about Megan Fox joining Star Trek. It's cool. All has been quiet on the Star Trek movie front while the Trek Renaissance has continued on television. Really, that is an interesting way to put it. That's another thing I wouldn't have put together and associated. Renaissance. Okay. The film has reached a standstill with stars. The films have reached a standstill with stars Chris Pine and Chris Hemsworth walking away. Now we have what might be a vague whisper of movement, thanks to Megan Fox, that star who has not previously been attached to any Trek, posted a couple of photos of her on Instagram story of her and John Cho and some sort of panel shoot with the hashtag Star Trek. A fan screenshotted this and tweeted about it. So we're okay. I'll talk about that later. And the official Star Trek Twitter replied, "Excuse me, at Star Trek, what's happening here, Megan Fox?" OMG. Naturally, it's time to run through clickbaity headlines about whether Fox is actually beaming on board the USS Enterprise. We here at the Mary Sue love Megan Fox, so we're all thrilled at the idea of her taking command of a starship because it's what she deserves. It's what we deserve, everybody. You entitled millennials. Is this a small sign of progress on the films? Has she been cast to fill the role of a navigator that was left behind by Anton Yelchin? Or is she playing an alien or a villain? What about a new captain? Even if this is a sign she's involved in the franchise and she just celebrating, is this a sign she's involved in the franchise or just celebrating her geeky side? The Trek Twitter's response seems to point of there being something to these shenanigans. And the inclusion of Cho points to it being a Kelvin verse. Hopefully, Paramount decides to get me an early birthday gift and pay Chris Pine. And, and it goes on to say, I'm just so happy that Megan Fox is involved. She's going to save us all, man. Megan Fox died for your sins. I mean, no, she's still alive. I'm not saying she's. Megan Fox is awesome. Okay. And the story is that I don't know if it's true or not. It could be a total internet bullshit thing. Is it true, guys, that like Michael Bay made her wash a car for Transformers or some bullshit like that? Rolocat, £1. Thank you. You didn't ask me a question, Rolocat. Make a comment. Call me an asshole. It's all right. I got called I called a sexist dick yesterday. I'm a dick. Sure. I don't know about the sexist part though. You don't know me. Don't hey, this is about speaking words. That's what I do here, but judge well, for one, don't judge it fucking anybody. If you're going to judge somebody though, judge it on actions, not what they blab on the internet. Saquist, thank you again for the £1 super chat, Roller Cat. I really appreciate it. Saquist, thank you for the $10 super chat. My idea: MGM, Paramount, CBS, Warner Brothers, and NBC distributors should combine Star Trek, Stargate, BSG, Babylon 5, all in the same streaming service. Amazon or New Stream, then like a sci-fi streaming service, like just sci-fi. That would be fucking brilliant. But that's what we thought we were going to get with the Sci-Fi Channel, Saquist. And I mean, we got some good stuff out of it. We did. And we got some bad stuff too. It's good to see a Comics Division and Comics Division and Feisty Fan together again in the chat. Whoa, man. Whoa. People coming together. I love it. I miss you, Comics. How was your move? Comics moved from one undisclosed location to another undisclosed location and in the state of undisclosed. Hope that went well, my friend. Congratulations. I wish I could move too. Dread Rocks remind me of a good 80s action movie. Fucking Dread rocked, Matt Guy. I loved Dread so much. It's creeping up into my top 5 favorite comic book superhero movies. I'm proud. Oh yeah, I've already read that. Yeah, no, I don't know what that's in reference. Sorry, I was reading a chat, folks. Sorry, I get all bloop. Sometimes I got a screen because it's crosstalk. It's not like I'm. Lannisters are the best house. They kind of are. I mean, just for entertainment, you can't have a good Game of Thrones story without the Lannisters. And Jaime's story in the books is fucking awesome. It is awesome. Like how you can just hate somebody and you just make them perfect mustache twirling villain and you turn them around to somebody you actually like. And they take the time to do it through steps. And it's just awesome. Love it. Like Megan Fox saved Transformers, says CD Horde. Hey, when she left, it went downhill. Just kidding. Frank Herbert's son tried to say the original books were wrong, so his own books would make more sense rather than adhering to canon. His son, that son of a bitch, that no good, ungrateful. Megan Fox will play Spock's adopted sister. She would do a better job. The independent Penny Dreadful is returning to TV with a new cast. Clarissa Lowry 8 hours ago, says Mikhail Strelitz. Penny Dreadful is returning in name only. Unfortunately, it's called City of Angels. And it's not I don't think it's gonna have anybody from the original show in it. And it takes place in 1930s Los Angeles, where they did not sell any Penny Dreadfuls at all. Destiny Captain, moviepoopshoot.com. Nice. Yeah. Nice silent Jay and Silent Bob reference there. There we go. Sebastian says Megan Fox can act for shit. She's better than some people I've seen, but yeah, not the greatest. And that's why it's called the Mary Sue. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. She might give a voice acting for the new Star Trek cartoon, says Mako. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Megan Fox is a member of Comicsgate, according to Marvel Comics list, rumor, news. Laugh my ass off. Really? That would be funny. I will say there's, I can't say too much. I'll just say there's silent members of Comicsgate. You'd be surprised. And I'll leave it at that. I've never heard of this woman. What's funny is I have a friend named Megan Fox who can act better than Megan Fox, and she is an actor. Are we all going to become Mary Sue subscribers? Maybe. Yeah. Oh, it's written by Kate Gardner. Yeah. So she's known to you, Comics Division. Yes. Okay. Star Trek is probably more dead now. Star Trek is dead. And the recent news, it's flying on autopilot right now, for lack of a better term. Kurtzman is in charge for now, but with Les Moonves being gone, Kurtzman was his guy. Right now, CBS has no. I think they have interim CEO and interim chairman, so things are going to be changing sooner than later. Yeah, first rule of Comicsgate. You're right, man of action. Same as Fight Club. Bayformers does such a disservice to the Transformers. Most don't even realize that more of the franchise. Most don't even realize there's more to the franchise than just the live action movies. Ray Venkman, what do you think of Bumblebee coming out? I gotta say that with just what I've seen from the trailer, it looks like a major improvement. I'm not saying it's going to be good, but I like the old look. And if they went back to that, I mean, I'm not the biggest Transformers fan, but I did watch every cartoon when it came out. I did shed a little bit of a tear when Optimus Prime died. I mean, yeah, I love that ship. I mean, that probably was all the pot I smoked and all the wine I drank, but I really felt it in the, as the millennials say, in the feels. I had the feels when fucking Optimus Prime died. And then like I was with all my dudes, right? All my punk rock dudes. So, and we were all sad. So we weren't looking at each other. We're all, sup, dude? That was fucking lame. Hit this, doing that guy. I'm not crying thing. It's just a Twitter handle. Gotcha. That'd be funny. Yeah, come on. Somebody you felt when an Optimus Prime died. That's our old Yeller. Okay. You hear the fucking baby boomers always talk about old Yeller and crying at old Yeller. Ours was Optimus Prime. There wasn't a dry eye in the fucking house. Never forget Optimus Prime. CBS, give us Kurtzman's head on a plate, metaphorically speaking. How about just give him a nice, just retirement package and get the fuck out of Star Trek, please. It's here's where I come from on that. You're going to change shit. Shit's going to change. You can't make it look exactly like the original series because it's been like fucking 50 years. I get it. Things are going to change, but make it look like you're trying. Put some effort into it. You can't adhere to canon 100%, but there is enough people out there who would do it for fucking free if you ask them, would help you with that shit. Star Trek, that's the one thing it has abundance of, is fans who give a shit, who would help you for nothing. but they're fucking egos. They go nuts with that stuff, and that's the frustration we have, and that same stuff we have with superhero films. We see, they don't bring in consultants, and when they do, they bring in the worst people. And I'm sorry, but for a superhero franchise, the worst person to ask is an artist. Sorry, Derek. They only see one side of things. They don't see the actual sales, and they don't talk to people. You should talk to comic shop. A comic shop merchant is the last actual human you can talk to that gets data every day and deals in pop culture. Yes, they sell comics, but they talk about TV shows, they talk about movies, and we see, they on average, depending on how large your comic shop is, it's maybe 10 to 100 people every day, and we're talking just like this. So imagine somebody who's done that for 10 years or 20 years. They know what the fuck they're talking about. Ask them. Yes, they have bias, but you send out like marketing teams and stuff. Dude, talk to a comic shop owner, please. It's not like we know a lot, but that's the one thing we're pretty good at, is bullshitting with customers and getting their opinions and knowing what they like. And you got to talk to the ones who have been around longer than 5 years. I have a bias against bad writing. There are good bias, Mako, for sure. And you know that. I do too. And I also don't have like this insane brand loyalty. Like I'm into a lot of things. I like a lot of things, a lot of different things. I'm not like a super expert on like I'm not a Trekker. I'm not somebody who like dives into Trek, and I'm into Game of Thrones, the books, but I'm not, whatever. I like a lot of different shit. But I dip from that stuff. I do not have brand loyalty anymore. If something goes south, bye. I'll come back when you're good again, but I'm not going to I did that for so many years and wasted so much money and time on shit waiting for it to get good again. And it's, as in art, as in life, it's the same. You got to hit a personal bottom. When you hit your personal bottom, you can then reinvent yourself or just build yourself back up. Same thing goes with art. It's just got to fucking die. It's got to crash and burn. And Doctor Who is doing that right now. We are watching it. We are witnessing the crashing and burning of Doctor Who. It's the whole running out of ideas thing. They ran out of ideas when they announced a female doctor. Like, sex swapping your character is like what you do when you run out of ideas. And I'm basing that on comic books. It's something I've seen done for years. This is not new. They've done it in different ways. They added a female version of a male character like Supergirl or, Batwoman or Batgirl, and it adds to it. Outright replacing. And they say, well, you could always jump back. Well, no, you won't jump back because there won't be a Doctor Who season 15. It's just not going to happen. Not when you're doing a series every other year. Cough, cough, Marvel. I know. Right? I'm okay with changing shit up. Just make it good. Yeah. Like, even if, and I said it in my videos, like, Jodie Whittaker, you want to know how you win every Doctor Who fan back? Good writing. It's really that simple. Keep the same cast of characters. Actors are actors. They're pretenders. Some are better than others, but the ones they have now seem pretty competent. If they were given good writing, let's see. Yeah. Are we talking about Thor? Jane Foster Thor was the bestest ever, says Chris Persia. Oh yeah, that actually did sell for a little while, but it eroded because it was Jason Aaron. But yeah, that's that in name only thing I was talking about with Iron Man comics and Thor. The thing is, us comic book fans, this is just we're watching in TV and movies now what we have been seeing in comics since 2015. All right, so this is not new, and we have data on this. So when I sound so sure of myself, when I hear like, oh yeah, they're going to mess with the backstory for Doctor Who, they're going to make her a girl first, because pretty much every comic book did it like that. They're rewriting backstories. Um, it's what they've been doing. I mean, like the Iron Fist did it. Colleen Wing was supposed to be the Iron Fist. And then they gave Danny two fists at the end. Forget all his training, everything. Her family was connected to it, and it was originally it was a girl first, and that, like, they're doing it. They've been putting it in absolutely everything. If it was in like one or two stories, so what? Who cares? But they're putting it in everything, and that's what we're talking about here. Mix it up. They're just following a trend and beating it into the ground, and a trend that's going to end very soon, by the way, because we have the data from the comics. Look at the Marvel comic sales, and that's it. It's like kind of a mic drop at that point. Like, go look at those Marvel comic sales. They sell in the fives of thousands. And there's about 68 less comic shops than there was a calendar year ago. The trend ended when it started, Mage Grey Wolf. Yeah, and this is the first time I've seen it, them really just double, triple, quadruple down on a trend that clearly is not working at all. And that's when you start to think, well, then it's more about money. It's way more about money. There's something else going on, and what is it? And well, that's open to debate, but propaganda, maybe? I don't know. I have no idea, because I don't know why you would want to keep losing money if you are in the business of making money. Makes no sense. What's happened before will happen again. Yes, Nigel. Absolutely. I mean, I can't. I mean, I don't want to guess, Nigel. Are you close to my age? I mean, we're also getting up there, so we're seeing things like cycle. You get to 40 and 50, you start seeing things happening again. You're like, oh, life does move in cycles. Kind of weird. We humans, we're oddly predictable like that. The UK is all sorts of messed up in the head right now. I don't think they even know what they did to Doctor Who. Probably not. It must be impossible to write that show. That's what I've said before. They must have this huge checklist. And as an artist, I believe an artist should. I always think an artist should be free to do whatever the fuck they want. If you believe in them enough to give them money based on their past work that you liked, if you want to hire them, then let them do their fucking job. And if they do it, great. If they don't, but if the minute you interfere, you give them an excuse to blame you for shit and can't take all the responsibility. And maybe you are interfering with their art and making stuff shitty and being the producers and stuff. Of course, that's never, ever going to happen. But that's why, you go to, that's why, I always end up going to like little indie, small YouTubers and like little bands playing in a club that, could barely hold 20 people. I can always fall back on that, and eventually you'll find something good. Because you just go back back to basics, which is I'm doing this shit because I like it. I'm not like out here to make money or do anything right now. Right now, it's just purely at the passion phase. It's raw, it's rough, but it's pure. Nigel Bright Savage says the UK is definitely screwed up. The Brexit referendum voted to leave. I can't get political here, Nigel. I'm sorry, but yeah, I know it's a little messed up stuff going on right there, and I definitely have opinions on that stuff. I don't want to go there, but I got you, Nigel. Not trying to ignore you. I'm 35. We're already remaking things from my 20s. Yep. The past studio encounter programmed in order to cover different interests for men and women, but the age of $1 billion movies, it's gathering larger audiences. Are they gathering larger audiences though? They're trying to make themselves more accessible, but movie numbers are largely down. Everything's down. There's a lot of reasons for that. There's a ton of reasons. And that's a good point, Seiko. They used to maybe they should we've talked about it a lot on our Friday podcast, like why things are down. Because I think people are just like not that into movies going outside. They're cord cutting. Plus, the quality is sucked. Things are too hyper political, and people are fucking politicked out. If you want to generalize something, people are like fucking done with it because it's constant. It's just, hey, part of my happiness is like I just turn off the news because the news doesn't have my best interest at heart, your best interest. They are just fucking fear porn right now. So it doesn't mean you cut yourself off from society. They probably have to work a little harder and try to but there's certain stuff like, why do I even need to hear it? Does it affect me at all? Like, does it really, do I really care what happened? Does it affect me at all? Is there anything I can do about it? Well, there is. Maybe not pay attention to the news so much and try to be as good as you can be. Problem is I fuck that up a lot. I'll get on the road, I'll road rage or something like that. And I'm not supposed to be doing that, especially in front of my kid, but I do. You drive around San Francisco, you're going to be flipping somebody off within the next mile. At least I am. Like this morning, some lady was doing her nails at the light, and I'm pretty quick with the horn. I'm like New York quick with the horn. Like it turns green a nanosecond. All bam, because hey, we got places to go, man. Got things to do. I got a live stream to do at 9:30. That's what I was thinking about. Chris Persia, those numbers don't reflect sales. Those units, those are, oh yeah, those are units shipped. Marvel doesn't want correlated data of actual numbers sold. That would disprove their narrative. Shit, the numbers shipped are down, Chris, but you're right. Feisty's in here, right? Feisty and I were talking, and she was overshipped again. Well, that they tend to do that towards the end of the year to pad the numbers. I have data from my 10 years at my store, and maybe I'll bore the shit out of some of you one day and just do a podcast I'm not going to leave up on my channel. And if those of you who are into the comics and want to see some real data from a comic shop, from an actual working comic shop of how many comics were actually sold, it would fucking surprise you. And I'll take one step further. I kept track as much as I could through verbally talking to my customers of how much was actually read. So I picked a few people out. They're friends of mine, and we talked, and I just said, hey, be honest as you can. You bought these comics from me. How many did you actually read? And I got data from that too. Oh yeah, I nerded out on this shit. I really got into it. When I opened up my comic store, I'll tell you this, 3 months before I opened up my comic store, I had never thought of owning my own business ever in my life. It landed in my lap. I was at work one day. I was reading the newspaper because it was 2002, and I was going through the classifieds looking for comic collections because, had a lot of extra scratch back then, and I was buying up comic collections to get ready for the comic store I was going to have possibly in my retirement. That was my excuse. I was just really building a massive comic book collection. What I told myself was, oh, maybe I'll do a comic store when I'm retired or anything. But the concept of actually like owning a working business had never really crossed my mind seriously. So I bought this comic collection, and Daniel Nolan, who's in this chat sometimes, who I bought it from, his dad. And his dad's like, hey, there's a comic shop for sale. And it happened to be the one that I go to, called the Comic Outpost. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Maybe you'll want to buy it. I'm all, maybe, sure. So Daniel's dad called the owner of the store. Within a week, I went in to get my comics. Me and the owner like started chit-chatting. He's like, so yeah, I'm for sale. You want to buy it? I'm all, I don't know. How much? He gave me a number. I'm all, nah. How about for this? And he's all, yeah. I'm like, okay, let me talk to my wife. So I talked to the wife, expecting her fully to say no. I'm like, listen, I was going to do this in my retirement, but like I talked, what do you think? She's like, fuck yeah, do it now. I'm like, okay. We met at a pizza place in West Portal in San Francisco, had some pizza, uh, said, let's do it. The actual business decision was made in a matter of minutes. But then he wanted like a big sum of it in cash. I'm like, all right, whatever. As long as I got paperwork, I don't care. And the story of the cash is hilarious. Um, and this was all done in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And the cash, I had to work, got back home went to the bank to go get the cash out. And I've never gotten that much cash out in a bank. So I was kind of dumb with that stuff. I'm like, just go to the bank, any bank, and get that much cash. And they're like, we don't have that much fucking cash here. You got to go downtown. You better go there before 4. So I ran down there. I went downtown, went to the big bank and say, I need this sum of cash. And they're like, we just locked up our freaking $100 bills and our big bills. They're on a time lock safe. We can do it, but it's going to be in 10s and 20s. I'm like, you are fucking kidding me. Nope. So this big lump sum of cash I got in 10s and 20s. So yes, looked like a big fucking Coke dealer. And I was on foot. I didn't drive around because I was going downtown. So I had a Toomey backpack with this insane amount of money in it in fucking 10s and 20s. To the effect where I was on my way down and I'm like going to go on BART with this. So I'm like, this is nuts. This is nuts. So I stopped in at the salon. Melissa was working at DiPietro Salon at the time. I'm freaking dripping sweat. I'm like, I've got like so-and-so amount of money. And I opened up my backpack. She went, what the fuck? I know. So, I decided to take a cab instead of BART. I took a cab, met, exchanged the money. It was done. But goddamn, that much money. I had never seen that much money in my life. Never. I don't know if I will again, but holy shit. That's the story of the Comic Outpost. I don't know how I got on that. I can't wait to open another one though. I am fucking chomping at the bit to do it again. Even though comics are like in the shits right now, they're just doing terrible. I can't wait to do it again. I'll be fine. It's not really what you sell, it's how you sell it. I'd be more interested in those figures. I won't be surprised, but I'd like to hear that. If you might want to think about those figures to Tug as well. Yeah, I might reach out to Tug, see if he wants to talk about it. It would take me about 2 weeks to get all my paperwork together because it's buried in boxes downstairs, but I'm currently doing that. And yeah, I would love to maybe get Tug on here. I like Tug a lot. So I don't interact with them or anything. There's a lot of YouTubers I watch where I don't jump into their chat. It's just because it would sound like I was just bringing attention to myself. Like they bring somebody up. Oh, I know that person. Oh, I've done that before. And and I would it would just come off as like being like somebody who's trying to garner attention in their chat. So I tend to stay off because I don't want to be one of those people. But what I did mention to Chris, and you did hear, I mentioned that what Tug's doxing was pretty fucked up, man. Okay. Big crowd today. Thanks for hanging in. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. I hope I got to go back, talk amongst yourselves for just a moment because I got to make sure I have a really nasty habit of missing super chats. Did I miss? I did. Saquist, forgive me. I'm asking humbly for your forgiveness. You've donated $10 and I'm an asshole. Each Saquist donated a super chat, says each should develop 2 series, one that continues the story and another for a different creative direction. Then each company yank their property, make their own dedicated streaming service. And that's a follow-up to his other $10 super chat about my idea. MGM, Paramount, CBS, Warner Brothers distributor, do Star Trek, do like a sci-fi stream. That'd be fun as hell. I kind of do that here because that's kind of the shit I watch. Now, I haven't watched all of Babylon 5. I watched it in bits and pieces when it was out. Never fully got into it, but next year, it is kind of going to be my Farscape of next year. By the way, Farscape's fucking awesome. I can legitimately say that it is fucking awesome. It is an awesome show, and I'm okay if it never comes back. I kind of like it the way it is. Uh, you could always rent the comic shop out to gay porn, Gary. Yeah, I might just say yes. At the time, we were doing okay, so I didn't need the $1,500. But the thing is, they wanted to close my store for a day, and then like I've let people film in my store before. I'd let an indie movie happen in there, and the one thing I told them not to fucking do, they did, and it's because I wasn't there. They let them do it. So I said, do not light a match. Don't do anything that requires fire. Anything that requires fire in my store could burn my store down. And you don't have the money to pay me, and you couldn't run far enough because I'd want to fucking kill you. So what did they do? They lit off a fucking little M80 inside my store, and it smelled like a fucking firecracker for a month. And no, they did not come back. They didn't I was so pissed. I was so fucking pissed. And I was out working in Hollywood at the time. That's how they got away with it. It's like, motherfuckers, there's paper in here. It's paper. It's filled with paper and wood. Dumb morons. What's up, Endless Echo? How you doing? That's why you use a briefcase. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Dude, people chop off your hand for a briefcase here in San Francisco, man. Remember, there's parts of this town that are barter town, man. You got to be there's parts of this town where a 6'5", 300-pound full ass grown man would not be safe. There's a place called Hunter's Point. That place is hot. Forget hench life. Farscape for life. Says Chris Persia. B5 had a ravenous fan base. That's why. There must be a reason for that, though, right? I mean, I believe Babylon 5 got saved from being axed due to the campaign run here in the UK by Channel 4, I think, possibly. I love the stories of shows being saved. And it's all, and you know what? You look back, a lot of them are like, end up being kind of classic shows at that point. So it becomes worth it. Crusade is a spinoff show. Oh, okay. Babylon 5. What's Hunter's Point? I can Google it. Hunter's Point is, it used to be military housing, Rough Girl. And it's now basically like the projects. But it's like, it's set off. Now, the way we do housing here, like low income housing, we'll call it, they mix it in now. So they'll have it in a nice neighborhood. They'll put a big old building right in the middle of a nice neighborhood. And it actually kind of works. It doesn't make some kind of demilitarized zone, but Hunter's Point's like old military housing that's low income housing. And that's where you get all the drugs and all the bad stuff happens. It's an economic thing. It is not a people thing, but a certain, it's part of it's one of the problems, one of the many problems we have with life that's pretty tough to solve, And Man of Action, you take care, man. It was good seeing you. It's unfortunate. It is sad. I'm sure many, many good people live there. But yeah, it's just, I mean, it's a fact. You go there at night, you're not safe. You're not safe. And it's probably not safe for the people who live there either, which fucking sucks. And cops don't go there. But there is some attempt to make that better here. I mean, my neighborhood's not great. Shit, you guys heard there's been a rash of break-ins here. That's why I got a new security system. Our neighbor 2 doors down got broken into in the middle of the day with people walking around in the street, and they drove up and pried open the gate, took a bunch of shit from this sweet old Korean family. And yeah, and I had missed it. I had gone to the gym. I was gone for 1 hour and came back, and there was cops everywhere. And I made sure to shake all the cops' hands, thank them for coming out, give them my name, tell them I'm a YouTuber just in case of the whole swatting thing. And then yeah, and they were all super fucking nice, and I was grateful they were there. I know the cops get a lot of shit, but yeah, they came fast. And they stayed in front of the house until the couple got home, because nobody can get a hold of them, which they didn't have to do. And I thought that was real nice. And thank God we have this neighbor up. He looks like Ron Jeremy, and his name is Ron. Swear to God, he looks just like Ron Jeremy, and his name is Ron. The world is weird like that. But he's kind of one of those nosy neighbors, and I fucking love that. It was the first guy I made friends with when I moved in, was the nosy neighbor, because he's going to watch. If you're nice to him, he will watch out for your house, and he does. And he's the one who saw it. So good for him, man. Thanks, Ron. Nextdoor app. If you guys have it, it's great to have the Nextdoor app. That way you can talk to all your neighbors, see what's going on. But there's tons of crime here in San Francisco. Right when they announced they weren't going to prosecute petty crime went up. I must have been a coincidence. Fucking get me started. Don't get me started. Sorry, I'll start losing viewers. Rough Girl. Oh yeah. Daytime is prime time. It really is. So the security system I have, basically all it would do, Rough Girl, is tell me who's here and give me a picture of them. It wouldn't stop them, but it would. I have layers of security here, but yeah, no, it's not impossible. It's not impossible. The police should be more like Dredd. I don't know about that, but if they can pick and choose, maybe, but it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. I am not a hater of the police, though. No. And my God, do I have I have personal reasons to not like them at all. But yeah, I don't want to judge the whole lot on the behavior of a couple. I have gotten my ass beat down by a cop, because I had back in the day, Disneyland used to sell pirate pistols that look like pirate pistols. They look like the old guns. God, they fucking love the 80s. So I had one on the floor of my car. I got pulled over because, fucking like clouds of pot smoke were coming out of my car, because I was like not subtle about that shit at all. And this is back in the day where like that could actually get you in a lot of trouble. But I was just too high to give a fuck. And cop pulls me over, sees that gun in the ground, freaking grabs me and whoops my ass with his flashlight. Like whooped my ass, like beat me on the head, beat my head against the car. My girlfriend in there was beating on him. And this back in the day, she didn't get in trouble for that, by the way. And it's because he beat me so hard. Like I couldn't get up. I couldn't drive. I was seeing shit. I got a concussion. I was bleeding. My dad was fucking pissed, and not at me for once. My dad actually put up for me. And what happened was nothing. Absolutely nothing. I went to the doctor. They looked at my eyes. He'll be better. Shake it off, boy. And they didn't do anything to my girlfriend, and they didn't do anything to the cop. But that cop had a boner for me after that. And that is for December 7th. You'll have to tune in December 7th. The big live stream on December 7th. No, LAPD, no. It's Encinitas Sheriff's Department. The Encinitas Sheriff's Department. 1988. They had a couple of bad cops that eventually got ran off the force, but there was only like 6 cops there. We got to know them by name. Well, it's bad. If you know a cop by name, it's bad. It's bad on me. It's just bad. But yeah, that was fun. Learned my lesson though. Learned my lesson. Did not walk around, and then he didn't give me back my pirate gun. I was kind of mad about that. I was like, God damn it. I like that pirate gun. And I don't know why I had it on the floor of my car. It was stupid. It was fucking stupid. And it could have got me shot. So that's your birthday. Oh, November 16th is your birthday? Well, we got to remember that. Rough girl, happy birthday. Rough girl's going to be 21. She's going to be legally old enough to drink. She's so young. I'm just kidding. I don't think she's 21. Maybe 22. Yeah, if he did that nowadays, he'd be done. I'd be suing people and stuff, but this was in the time where that didn't happen. And I was kind of considered one of the hooligans of the town, we'll just say, as a very nice term. I had a bit of a reputation with the cops. So there might have been something else behind that too. Props to my girlfriend at the time, who was not Melissa. So we'll just say girlfriend at the time, for punching a cop. It's funny. We were little punk rockers. We were all rough and bad. But I mean, it scared the fucking shit out of me. I will not lie. It scared the crap out of me. Some cop wailing on me. Like, I was all, whoa, that escalated quickly. And it hurt a lot. There was a 30-year-old man who sued his parents because they didn't want to leave. He didn't want to leave the house and get a job. Oh boy. Yeah. I don't know how I get on my stories. It's not a proud moment getting your ass kicked by a cop, believe me. It wasn't even like that, like, big of a cop, but I was 17. Thank you, Frag Minion. And all he got out of it was a really cool orb t-shirt, right? Oh, I learned a lesson, Frag Minion, and knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe. I don't want to get a job and leave my parents' house. I make more money here, says Harley's little sister. There's a joke there that I will not go. I will not go there. But I get what you're saying. Now that, well, some do CD Horde. They've always kind of done that, and then some don't. It depends. It depends. Like the ones I met were all pretty fucking cool here. But they have to be on their guard here. Like, yeah, they probably go through a lot of like training exercises here, being a San Francisco cop. That cannot be easy. Tanya Louise says, people pay me to stop talking. LOL. That's funny. Oh, I'm sure Dennis would probably pay good money to have me shut up, but then he'd have nothing to do. Why leave your parents' house when you have free porn and piracy? You can watch Batman, the animated series, and some cosplay porn all the time. I mean, like, yeah, that's it's hard to argue against that, right? Rich Silverwood, can I wish all my fellow Brits a happy bonfire night? Oh, yeah, that's right. I have fireworks going off all around me right now. Remember the 5th of November. Yes. Yes. Rich, I am an idiot for not pointing that out. Celebrating a guy who was hanged for trying to blow up Parliament for reasons of liberty or some such. I only know it through Alan Moore. So I mean, I probably should read up on it more. But yes, I'm going to watch V for Vendetta today. I just forgot. Yes, V. Fucking love that movie, by the way. I love that movie. I love the comic more. I love Alan Moore. I love the Brits, even though you're being a bunch of crazy people right now, but that's okay. We still love you. And yeah, my, you fucking Brits are awesome. You've given us so many good things, man. We'll forgive you for once in a while going a little kooky. It's all right. It's cool. It's not like we don't do that either. Um, Mako was binging Farscape. Oh, I love most Brits. When I go over there, you guys are super cool. For you could like walk, well, at least you come up and ask if a stranger like goes and asks your typical American for directions, like I'd say half of us will be cool, and the other half will be like, what? Fuck off. It's like I'm too busy, which we kind of are. Right now, we've just turned into a bunch of busy people, too busy to do shit. The UK just needs to remember to have a jelly baby. That's right. I love how many people don't know a damn thing about Guy Fawkes. Yeah, endless three echo. I don't know what. I mean, I know through V for Vendetta. That's my window to the world on that one. So I'm gonna think that Alan Moore portrays him a certain way. Um, so yeah, he wanted to blow some shit up, and you guys have fireworks for it, which is that's why we have fireworks for blowing shit up. Now, here in San Francisco, every day is something to light off fireworks. It's every day. What the fuck is a jelly baby? A jelly baby is they're not that great, to be honest with you. I prefer like gummy bears or something like that. Definitely prefer gummy bears. Oh boy, so much happening in the world right now. So, I didn't even talk about that. Let's talk about the Kevin Feige thing. Okay. Jesus, I put it in the title and I forget. I just like talking to you guys, man. The titles are kind of, I mean, I'm not trying to trick you guys. I'm trying to like just get you to watch. But if I forget something, feel free to bring it up. Or if there's something you want to talk about, feel free to bring it up. As long as it's not political, but you guys know that. You don't want to come here for that. I mean, like, I'd be the worst person to ask any political questions anyway, because I just say, fuck them. That's it. The great website IO9 that I know many of you just love and adore. Speaking with the Hollywood Reporter, I went to the source article, but it's just buried in that, so I'm just going to stick with this. Kevin Feige compared Marvel's new Avengers-focused programming for Disney Play to long-form campfire stories that won't necessarily work on the big screen. Well, it's not 100% complete yet, so there's only so much I'm allowed to say, or so much they even tell me. That's bullshit. You run the show, buddy. Come on, do play coy with us, Kevin. But Paul Greengrass mentioned the streaming service, and I think that is something that we're going to be adding content to, which is exciting. I love your analogy with the campfire, right? As many people of you get around the campfire and tell stories. Campfires can be different. We are going to tell stories for the streaming service that we aren't able to tell in a theatrical experience, a longer form narrative. It's called a television show, Kevin. Yeah, we know. And he's a politician. Like, he is saying, I mean, like, he's saying we're going to be doing TV shows. That's what the comics are. It's about long form a narrative that's as long form of a narrative as it exists, but also maintaining that theatrical experience, which means our TV shows are going to look expensive, which is our bread and butter and the lines around the block, if you're lucky. So basically, that statement in itself is nothing. Okay. It's like, oh, we're going to do TV shows with superheroes in it that are going to look pretty. We don't know if these are going to be prequels. Doesn't really matter. What matters about this is who they were talking to. They were talking to Kevin Feige and not Jeff Loeb about television series going to streaming. And as reported before, he is going to have a bigger say. I think he's going to have all the say. I think Jeff Loeb is out. Kevin Feige is in. I think that could be a good thing, but I'm going to go with my boy Dennis on this. If they get rid of rated R, Deadpool, if they don't make Punisher rated R, Daredevil rated R, it's going to be kind of like how the Marvel cartoons are, like just bland nonsense, competently bland. to use a DNC reference. Competently bland. So I think that's what we're going to get. Um, I mean, I have no reason not to trust Kevin Feige anymore, but there's some stuff I'm kind of worried about. And that's why I hold out hope that the DC universe works and they do their own thing. They might stumble a little bit, but I'm a supporter. I'm a huge supporter of DC because I think although they're a big company too, I think they have a little more freedom than actually Marvel does with Disney. I think Disney really restricts a lot of things. That's why dark doesn't mean sophisticated, but sometimes people feel like creative, especially Disney, feels like sophisticated is dark. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't want to go there. They just want to keep it like really bland. We don't want our bad guys to be too bad. Kind of like what's going with Doctor Who. To circle it back to Doctor Who, we can't have scary bad guys. You might scare somebody. We can't have a show on Christmas. You might offend somebody. You can't say spiders are evil. Somebody might step on a spider. You know, it's like we can't go through fucking life like that. We can't go fucking through life like that. That is bullshit. So that's what's happening. Alternatives again to bad Marvel comics. There's a lot of good Marvel. There's a lot of good comic books out there that are still being produced. You just got to dig harder to find them. I'm a fan of Mark Millar. Go look for his work, except for I don't know. Yeah, I stand by. There's a couple things he's doing right now that I don't love, but like look for some of his older work. There's some good stuff at DC. There's a couple good things at Marvel. You got to dig to find them though. Better TV, like I said before. The Expanse, Legion, Counterpart, Venture Brothers, Castlevania. There, you have like 14 good TV shows to watch. Silhouetted Animator, back. But I think that if Titans ends up being a DCU canon, the Dead Robin in BVS would have to be Tim Drake. The Jason Todd episode is set in present day. The DCEU is dead. I'm sorry to state that, but it's dead. They're not bringing that back. If they did, that would make sense. If they include like the television and the movies together, I think that'd be fun. I think people do like the connective tissue between stuff. I think that would be a lot of fun. Silhouette Animator. Or we can pretend he's not dead. Like in the DCEU, if the Joker was Jason Todd and not Dick Grayson, I'd have been fine with that. I think that would have been actually been kind of cool if they would have done that whole thing and the Joker is either still out there or dead or something. Is it too naive to ask, why does Feige take control of Marvel TV, break apart from Disney, and have a complete creative control over tone, story, direction in the MCU? He kind of does by default, Rashid. He controls the MCU, which is essentially controlling Marvel. So if you want to change something in the television side, you have to go through Jeff Loeb, which won't be hard. But if you want to get to the comics and stuff, and if anything will reflect negatively on the MCU, Kevin Feige has a say. That is my guess. Man has a lot of power and he's really fucking good at it. He's really, I mean, like read that. He said nothing. He's a politician, but he's good at it. I mean, people love him. I love him. What do you think of Heroes in Crisis? It may be not by DC Comics for a while. I'm so depressed about it. It's awful, Mako. DC does what DC does. DC knows how to screw up a good lay, and that's what they did. They answered their phone in the middle of sex. That's what that was. Yeah, Ezra Miller ruined it. That's right. Ezra Miller. That's the name. Avi Arad taught him well. Oh, he did, Mako. He is now the master. I'm going to take a sip of Pete's coffee. I'm going to get to this really quick. I got to pop this open. Damn, I almost closed out my window. That's not good. That is not good. Oh, also going to recheck. Make sure I didn't miss. Okay, yes. It's good to see Tamrock's back. Oh, man. I just got a notification of a video I want to watch. Secure Team 10 put out a couple of really, if you want to talk a really quick, some woo, there's some good UFO stuff. Go check out Secure Team 10's last 2 videos. They're pretty good. I'll just say that. They're pretty good. Yeah, I don't know if I don't think I'm doing anything tonight. I talked about Homecoming a little bit. I don't know how many, have any of you seen Homecoming? Has anybody seen Homecoming? If he has control effectively over Marvel, what's the excuse for the TV blunders, especially Heroes for Hire characters? Jeff Loeb. TV. Okay, so the TV was separated from the MCU. They were supposed to be connected more than they were, but there was a battle, and that's what kind of led to Kevin Feige being in charge of the MCU and the TV thing going off on its own. Jeff Loeb's been running TV into the ground. When they move stuff over the streaming service, do you notice that they're not talking to Jeff Loeb? They're talking to Kevin Feige about television shows. So that leads me to believe Kevin Feige is going to be in charge. Let's see. Nope. I saw Homecoming. Nope. Which Homecoming? Asks Endless Echo, which is, yeah, I don't like the title. It's too bland. It's on Amazon Prime with Julia Roberts, but it's made by the guys who do Mr. Robot. Any news on the next Exozone? Soon. Is that considered news? Soon. Don't forget to lick that button, by the way. Homecoming on Amazon Prime. Mako, you didn't like it, or you thought it was okay? I kind of like it. Although I kind of like it. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know if people are going to stick with it. I like weird shit like this. I think people might get annoyed by it by the 3rd or 4th episode because it's stylistically beautiful, but it's one of those things that like gives you little bits of information and then it kind of blows your mind at the end. But I do believe Mako said that your mind was not blown at the end. You were kind of like, with the whole thing. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if people are going to like it or not. I do, but it's not one of those things like go run out there and see it because you might go, Gary, I was bored to death. I'm going to keep talking. I'm just showing my somewhat up-to-date Patreon video. Somewhat up-to-date. Yeah, look for the Daredevil video. I actually recorded it prior to our Friday night podcast. I'm like, but I put so much work into it that I'm going to put it out. So it's basically gives the data on what's behind the drop in viewership with Daredevil, my thoughts on why the viewership actually dropped. Again, as with all of my videos, they're my opinion. That is it. It's just an opinion. I do kind of base I try to base it on things I've seen before, with other properties, like repeated cycles. We definitely are seeing a repeated cycle. Doctor Who is repeating what it did before. It just ran itself into the ground. And it ran itself in the ground by putting too many restrictions on itself and having people in charge who don't really have the show's best interest at heart. They have their own best interests at heart, which is what always happens every time. Ego gets in the way. I believe one of you wonderful chatters said it best. It's just a show that got old. But this is supposed to be the show that doesn't get old. Fucking CSI's run for fucking 50 years. Damn straight, Ray Venkman. Hide your movies, hide your shows, hacks Abrams, and his band of robots are in town, right? And they're trying to work a huge production deal. It's supposed to be the biggest deal like ever made in Hollywood, like above Spielberg or anything else. Yeah, I hope, and trying to bring his production so he can basically run Star Trek and Star Wars. I'm sure better people than I will do or I don't know, better, but more informed people than I will do videos on it. But suffice to say, J.J. Abrams is trying to take control. J.J. Abrams comes off this really charming guy. He likes power. Oh, he likes his power. Look at him. Look at what he's doing. Is he like, I'm cool with my production company, I'm making millions? No, he wants to make more millions and more millions and more millions. And I don't begrudge people for making millions. That's great. But it's undeniable that guy likes power. But difference between him and Spielberg earned his power. Spielberg is a creative genius. J.J. Abrams is at best a decent copycat. Not even that. I'm being nice. He's a shitty copycat. There's more talented people. Fucking Brian Fuller's more talented than him. Noah Wiley, Sam Esmail. These are more talented people. Ty Frank, Daniel Abrams, more talent in their pinky. Doomsday should be the last enemy, not the first. Damn straight. And Justice League should be the last movie, not your first. JJ, stay the hell away from Warhammer 40K, please. He's a hack. He's a total hack. Brian Fuller, not the Klingons. And I'm not like in love with Brian Fuller, but he has more talent than J.J. Abrams. I mean, he made American Gods. That's a good show. Doctor Who is crap and deal with it. Kind of is. Yeah. I mean, you're right. I'm not going to argue with you. Imagine if Edgar Wright started his own cinematic universe. I'd watch the shit out of that with you, Rashid. I would. You're right, Ray Vankman. JJ only got as far as he did with Spielberg's endorsement. You are correct. I can't argue with that. That umbrella guy. Hey there. Enjoying the show. What's up, Doug? Wow, that's an honor. I appreciate that. What is up? Again, sorry what happened to you, man. That was fucked up. That is that umbrella guy. Kind of a legend right now. Wow. Super honored by that. Cool. That is the Tug. That is right. Unfortunately attempted to dox him in his work, and yeah, I kind of went off about it, Tug. I was a little mad about it. Going after a man in his job is so fucking petty and stupid, and that's what we're dealing with. I mean, Tug just really just criticizes comic books. It's just comic books, folks. So go ruin a man's life. Yeah, that's normal. That is normal. And Tug comes in right like when I'm about to bow out. But thank you for the super chat, man. That is awesome. And I love your stuff too. I do. I'm usually lurking when I watch, though. I don't usually. No worries. I watch, but don't comment. They also want to split hairs and on what is doxing. Oh, I know, right? Like, what exactly? That's not technically doxing. Creeps. Exactly. Bullshit. Doxing is doxing. Sharing anything personal on the internet about anybody is doxing. I know other people do it because this is where the hairs maybe get split with some of us, is sharing messages. Now there is receipts. Sometimes you got to show receipts. If you're going to call some people out, you got to show some receipts. Now, if you have permission from somebody to show these receipts, at least from one side that's in a personal message, I wouldn't do it myself personally, but that one's debatable. People can debate it all day long, but doxing is doxing. All right. If the fact that somebody has to be anonymous on the internet at all to criticize comic books kind of says where we're at right now, and that's a personal choice. And I would never question it. It's none of our fucking business. I was just dumb and went out with my face shown because I never thought anybody would watch. So that's my excuse. And I tell all complaints can be sent to Dennis anyway. So, see, comics division. See, like there's a couple people in here, not that umbrella guy, by the way, that I know their real names, and I have to, like, I've almost blurted them out because like I'm just bad with that shit. Poor Feisty fan. It was a Patreon thing, but I blasted her name out. Sorry, Feisty. Yeah. We all got to make them, right, Tug? And it's okay. I still do. JJ is such a dirty hack that he had to rip off Meyer's Wrath of Khan script. Oh my God, was that the? I know. I wanted to gouge my own eyes out on that one, bud. Hence the beard, yes. And the glasses. I actually don't have a beard and don't wear glasses. There you go. I doxed Feisty in a hangout. I did. Sorry. That's how that shit goes, man. That's how it goes. Are you doing anything live today, Tug? If you are, I'll be watching. But I'm and I'll wait for Tug to answer. But don't forget Force Awakens being A New Hope. Oh, I won't. How could I? That's how I found a lot of people. 5 p.m. Central Time. All right. That is I can do the math, is 2 o'clock Pacific. Check it out. Good live streams. Your daughter is adorable. It's fucking cute as hell. When she comes on, tells a little story about the spiders. Love that. I love it when kids get on like little kicks. Mine used to do that too when mine was young. They grow up so fast. They do. My kid's almost as tall as me now. My little one. It's fucking crazy. In the words of Dr. Venture, everybody is free to feel good. Goddamn right, Mr. Roboto. Goddamn right. Yeah, so he's going to check it out. I'm feeling a little lightheaded right now. Well, I mean, more lightheaded than usual. So I'm going to go have a little bit of avocado toast like I do here in San Francisco. Yeah. And I don't know what else I'm going to do. I'm going to listen to Tug later, probably do some yard work, some normal shit, and work on that comic shop. I mean, I'll get those records out. We could talk about that would be fun, Tug. We could talk about that. Even if it's privately, we can talk about actual data from an actual shop, and you will be surprised. Or maybe you won't be surprised at all. Absolutely, I will. I'll hit you up, and you are always welcome here too, my friend. And yeah, I'll get, so half of, I won't say half of what gets ordered. I'll say, I mean, it really depends on the titles, but if I put all the information together, it's half of what is shipped a lot of times, 60%, something like that. I think it's a lot worse now. My shop never, like the numbers right now, thank God I did not experience numbers like that. I'd had to take a third job. Drink some homebrew vodka. If I drank, Sebastian Simonson, I am a boring, sober person. I will drink some fucking coffee though all day long. But yes, clean and sober. Many years. I will drink some water. But thank you though. The heart is there. I heard 40 to 60%. I interviewed 51 shops, 48% average. Yep. Look at you. See, he does the homework, man. Look at that. Yes. And if you go beyond that, it's another 40 to 50% drop on how much they actually read, sometimes more. So much habitual buying keeps this industry going. I'd say it's a easy half. I mean, just think about, I had to sit down. I own the shop, but I had to like really sit down to concentrate, to read everything. I had to read, Feisty knows, I had 7-8 comics a day. It gets to be a bit much sometimes. Well, it's an honor having that umbrella guy in here. I really appreciate you, dude. You got to write up and bounding into comics and everything. It's fucking rad. So I'm sorry it was over this though. So, but no, very happy to that's awesome. Sorry, I'm a little floored right now. And Brent Newman, the great Mary Ashmead and her wrench, always coming in here. Thank you for staying so long. CD Horde, Mr. Roboto, that umbrella guy, Rashid C, Mr. B Natural, Sebastian Simonson, Philip A. Demick, Ray Venkman, Rough Girl, the mighty Rough Girl. She is mighty, by the way. Don't mess with her. Mako, Brent Newman. Already said Rashid. See, did I say that? Endless Echo, what's up? Honor this. $2 super chat. Just kidding. Thank you for the super chat. And thank you for the super chat, that umbrella guy. Ian Batchelor, Tanya Louise, Mage Grey Wolf, and Silhouette and Animator gave us a $5 super chat. Thank you very much. The Great Apple Crow. Good to see you, Matt Guy. Nigel Brought Savage, wonderful patron. Very funny in our Patreon hangouts. Chris Persia, Michael Strelitz. And thanks, man. I appreciate that. The sentiment. The DJ D show. Please check out his the DJ D show does his own thing, and I really kind of dig it. I do. Frag Minion, the great Frag Minion. Good to see you. KSSS, and that's as high up as I can go. You saw the great patrons earlier. Our Patreon is patreon.com/nerdrotic, where we give you stuff. But you could also join for $1. And there's a lot more exclusive content that we're doing because I have time right now. Oh man, we got another super chat in there. Yo, a 10-pound super chat from Pat Van Kirkhoff. No question. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And let me thank those super chatters again. If you have a question, just shoot it in before I take off here. We had Silhouette and Animator $5, Tamarox for $20, Silhouette and Animator for $10, Rolo Cat for £1 or €1. Sorry, Saquist for $10, Saquist for $10 more, Silhouette and Animator for $5. That Umbrella Guy, like, share, and subscribe, $2. Endless Echo, $2. Pat Van Kirkhoff, like Captain Kirkhoff, €10. Thank you so much, everybody. Yeah, this is so much fun. I kind of wish I could go on, but I might pass out because I really need to fucking eat. So thanks for hanging in there with me. And I will see you Wednesday for the Nooner. And if any news drops, I'll do a video, and check out my Daredevil ratings video that's coming out later today. All right. May the small folks sing songs of your greatness. Cheers, everybody.